Yeah, boy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next Ranger build in Outward Definitive Edition. This time we're taking a look at the Green Ranger. The inspiration for this build was to make the Reaper's Scyth deal some incredibly high damage. And it definitely worked, instantly killing loads of enemies with Moonswipe and having several different styles of combat to make use of. This is the powerful Green Ranger build and how you can set it up yourself. When it comes to green armor, you can't really beat the green copal set. This stuff can be crafted at the blacksmith and Berg as a yellow set, and then legacy chested to get the full green. Both the helmet and boots are optional, as I mostly use them to have a full set, enchanting them with ages for some extra protection. The required piece is the chest plate. Copal chest enchanted with Spirit of Berg is extremely strong. Extra negative cost to stamina and a massive bonus to ethereal damage. Neither of these enchants are that difficult to get and make this already good armor even better. The green copal has great defense while also offering good elemental resistance, letting you take much less damage from lightning and ethereal damage. Very good for taking on the Lightmender or just ghosts. The Ghost Reaper will be our weapon for this build. It's a very cool looking halberd that offers several strong stats. Insane impact, really high decay damage, and even negative 15% mana cost. I enchanted it with Mole Pig Sai from New Sirocco Enchanting Building as to add 5 ethereal damage as well. Since we'll have the Spirit of Berg enchant on our chest, it seems like the best option. The main reason to use this weapon is because it inflicts Haunted, making enemies negative 25% weaker to ethereal damage and also allowing you to explode Rupture and Torment when you need a long-range option. The only downside to this item is that it's very slow, which will make hitting more mobile opponents pretty challenging. Luckily, we do have a few options to counteract this. Probe for instant hits, Moonswipe for very fast high damage, and using the special attack to poke from afar. Rather than rushing in and swinging wildly, it's best to think tactfully and use all your tools available to you. Or you could just go with Wind Infuse if all else fails, but we want to try and main the Spirit Varnish when possible, to really hit hard with purple damage. I took 3 points for mana, granting us 60 and then 80 after the faction quest is done. Any less seemed too low to use all the skills as much as I wanted. Makes it a lot easier to buff, summon a ghost, and then use Rupture. Finally, at the skill trees, we want to use Cabal Hermit, it's just the best, Hex Mage for Rupture and Bloodlust, and Speedster for more defense and extra skills. These 3 skill trees together create a very interesting synergy. The Cabal Hermit buffs your elemental defense and damage while also giving you a chance to get backup from the Ghost. Considering we'll be debuffing our enemies with Ethereal, the Ghost should be pretty powerful. Hex Mage allows you to have 0 burnt stats all the time and gain health and mana back after a kill, keeping you at full health and higher mana than you otherwise would be able to. Lastly, we have Speedster. I usually stay away from this tree, but with such a slow and long weapon, it's actually perfect. Probe lets you hit enemies quickly and apply Pain, Confusion, and the Ethereal Hex right at the start of combat. Unerring Reed lets you take 1 free hit, which we'll use to spam Moonswipe twice with Prime, culminating in what I like to call a quality of life build. Nice damage, okay defense, but near infinite stamina and skill usage. For long playthroughs, this feels fantastic and alleviates certain struggles such as constantly resting or stopping to eat something. The extra items you need to always have on you are Spirit Varnishes, Buzu Hide Backpack, and the Mana Tent. Spirit Varnishes grant us much more ethereal damage, really taking advantage of our buffs. These are one of the easier varnishes to craft in my opinion. The Buzu Hide Backpack is mostly due to its green look. Fits pretty well with the armor and means you never have to take your bag off. Then the Mana Tent can be bought in Levant to reduce the amount of mana you are using. Not necessary, but looks more unique than most tents and helps when buffing for harder fights. I chose the Holy Mission faction for our faction quest. We miss out on Mana Infuse, but that's super late game anyway. Holy Mission grants us extra protection, decay resistance, and divine assistance. You could pick the other skill for more ethereal damage, but this passive here is one of my favorites. It helps out big time with both stamina and mana, pushing our build even further towards infinite dodging and casting of skills. Really, any faction works here, except Blue Chamber, so feel free to personalize this more if you really want to. In order to use this build to its full potential, I recommend a similar setup for your hotbar as I have here. Conjure is not required as you need to enter your inventory to use Reveal Soul anyway. A Spirit Varnish, Discipline, and Enrage are your first buffs to apply, granting massive damage with Moonswipe. Use Brace to knock back an enemy anytime, and activate Probe to keep pushing them back while you apply Pain, Confusion, and the Ethereal Hex. At that point, you should see a huge increase in damage and can activate your Speedster skills to assist you in combat. Rupture can be used to take chunks out of enemies, but it's a bit tricky to use if your opponent is currently attacking. After battle, try and summon a Ghost Buddy to assist you in the next fight. The extra protection from Speedster with higher alert levels makes this build pretty tanky to physical damage. Not great with all the elements, but Lightning and Ethereal should be pretty high regardless. Use the long length of your weapon to damage opponents and instantly dodge away from harm. And there you have it, folks, the Green Ranger build. A character that uses legacy chests for a nice set of armor and an excellent boss weapon. Once again, going for infinite stamina, as I just can't help myself, and Bloodlust from Hexmage just feels so right. Nothing compares to the mega defense of the Blue Ranger, but the Green Ranger will be doing way more damage and dropping some enemies instantly if you use your skills in the correct order. This could make for a very fun Blue and Green Ranger co-op playthrough, and then you'd get even more use out of Rupture as the other build applies the Chill Hex as well. Just a neat idea to make this Scythe more usable and become the powerhouse you've always wanted to be. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will catch you next time.